Have you ever considered that failure might be the secret ingredient to your success? A strange question, isn't it? But it's one that's worth pondering. Today, we're going to delve into an intriguing paradox, one that has puzzled many for centuries, the paradox of failure and success. It's a concept that on the surface seems to be a contradiction. After all, isn't failure the very antithesis of success? Isn't it something to be avoided at all costs? Well, not exactly. You see, our society has painted a rather negative picture of failure. It's often seen as a sign of weakness, incompetence, or just plain bad luck. But what if we told you that failure could be something else entirely? What if failure, in reality, is a catalyst for success? Now, this might seem counterintuitive, but bear with us. Consider the most successful individuals you know. Do you think they've always had it easy? Do you believe they've never stumbled, never faltered, never failed? If you look closely, you'll find that these individuals often have a history of failures. Yes, you heard that right. The most successful people have often failed, and failed spectacularly. But here's the thing. They didn't let their failures define them. Instead, they took them as lessons, as stepping stones towards their eventual success. They learned from their mistakes, dusted themselves off, and tried again and again and again until they finally achieved what they set out to do. And so, we come to a rather unusual conclusion. Failure, as it turns out, isn't the end of the road. It's not a dead end, but a detour. A detour that might be rocky, might be challenging, but one that ultimately leads to the destination. So, could it be that the road to success is paved with failures? Consider Steve Jobs, co-founder of Apple Inc., who was once kicked out of his own company. Jobs was a man of vision, a pioneer in the world of technology. His early success, alongside Steve Wozniak, saw Apple rise from a garage startup to a billion-dollar company in just 10 years. The Apple II, the company's flagship product, was a sensation, making Jobs a household name. But success, like a fickle friend, didn't stay for long. In 1985, Jobs found himself at odds with the company's board of directors. The tension culminated in Jobs being ousted from Apple, the company he had co-founded and nurtured. It was a public humiliation, a failure that could have easily marked the end of an illustrious career. But Steve Jobs was not a man to be defeated so easily. He took this setback not as a death sentence, but as an opportunity to learn, to grow, to reinvent himself. He went on to start Next, a computer platform development company that was eventually bought by Apple. He also bought a small animation studio, which later became Pixar, the powerhouse behind some of the most beloved animated films of all time. This period of apparent failure was, in reality, a chapter of exploration for Jobs. He once said, "I didn't see it then, but it turned out that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me." The heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again, less sure about everything. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life. Jobs returned to Apple in 1997, and with him, he brought a renewed sense of purpose. Under his leadership, Apple launched the iMac, iPod, iPhone, and iPad, revolutionizing the technology industry once again. His failure was a stepping stone, a catalyst that led to even greater success. Jobs' story teaches us that even in the face of failure, there is always opportunity for redemption and success. Or how about J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series, who was once a single mother living on welfare? Joanne Rowling, known to the world as J.K. Rowling, is a testament to the power of resilience and perseverance. Before she became the creator of the best-selling Harry Potter series, Rowling lived a life riddled with setbacks and hardship. She was a single mother, struggling to make ends meet, living on state benefits in the UK. Her life was far from the magical world she would later create. The idea for Harry Potter came on a delayed train journey from Manchester to London in the early 90s, but it would take years and countless rejections for the world to meet the boy wizard. During this period, Rowling faced numerous personal challenges. She battled depression, endured the loss of her mother, and went through a divorce. Yet throughout these trials, Rowling persisted. She wrote in cafes while her daughter slept next to her. She used her struggles, her experiences of failure, and her bouts with depression as fuel for her writing. The Dementors, some of the most terrifying creatures in the Harry Potter universe, were born out of her own experiences with depression. Even when the manuscript was complete, success was not immediate. Rowling received 12 rejections from publishers before Bloomsbury, a small London publisher, finally accepted Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Even then, she was advised to get a day job because there was little money in children's books. But as we all know, Harry Potter was not just a book, it was a phenomenon. It captivated the hearts of children and adults alike, selling over 450 million copies worldwide. Rowling went from living on state benefits to becoming the world's first billionaire author. Rowling's journey is a powerful reminder that failure is not the end, but rather a stepping stone to success. Her story teaches us that hardships and setbacks can fuel creativity, and with resilience and determination can lead to unimaginable triumph. Rowling's journey shows us that failure can fuel creativity and lead to unexpected success. So, what can we learn from these stories of failure turned into success? Well, there are several lessons to be gleaned. The first is the paradox of failure and success. These two concepts, often seen as opposites, are in fact intimately connected. Success is not the absence of failure, rather it is the ability to rise from the ashes of defeat, to learn from our mistakes, and to transform these lessons into stepping stones towards our goals. Failure, then, is not a dead end, but a detour. A redirection towards a path that perhaps we were meant to take all along. Take Steve Jobs, for instance. He was ousted from his own company, a failure that could have broken many. But instead of wallowing in self-pity, he took this setback as an opportunity to learn, grow, and innovate. He started new ventures and eventually returned to Apple, leading it to become one of the most successful tech companies of our time. His story teaches us the value of perseverance, of sticking to our vision despite the obstacles, and of continually striving to create something better. Then there's J.K. Rowling. She faced numerous rejections for her Harry Potter manuscript, but she refused to give up. She believed in her story and in her ability to tell it. And look where that resilience got her. She's now one of the best-selling authors of all time. From her journey, we learn the importance of resilience, of standing firm in the face of rejection, and of believing in ourselves and our dreams. These stories also highlight the concept of the growth mindset. This mindset is about viewing challenges as opportunities for learning and growth, rather than as threats to our self-worth. It's about understanding that our abilities and intelligence can be developed, that we are not defined by our failures, but by how we respond to them. Remember, it's not about avoiding failure, but learning, growing, and succeeding despite it. Embrace the lessons of failure. Let them guide you on your journey to success.